What's good everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see on your screen, today we are comparing Chiellini with Nesta, and we are going to see which one is going to be the dominant center back so that we can determine which one is the better choice and which one you should be going for. Both of these players cost really good. Chiellini cost 1000 shards and Nesta cost 800 shards, which is a really good price for both of these players. And if you look at their stats, they both look almost similar as well, but of course there is always going to be a difference in the gameplay, and that is what we are going to discuss in this video and determine which player shines in which department. We are going to rate these players in each department out of 10, and in the end we are going to sum up all these points and see who is going to be the winner. And since they are center backs, we are going to discuss the following attributes: their pace, their tackling, awareness, interceptions, heading, strength and stamina. So without any further ado, let's start this video. So the first thing we are going to discuss about Chiellini and Nesta is going to be the pace department, and in the pace department I think majority of you guys already know that Nesta is the faster player. And he's very good when it comes to chasing back and recovering the ball, because he is a bit aggressive and he likes to go forward a lot, so you need that pace to get him back in his right position. Other than this, you also concede a lot of counter attacks and direct attacks where you are facing really quick players. They could be strikers, they could be wingers, and it becomes really hard to catch these players, and you do need players which are quick. So Nesta's pace is really good. He is able to catch up to majority of the attackers, so Nesta is going to get 9 out of 10 points. If we talk about Chiellini, then he's surely not as fast as Nesta, but that doesn't make him slow. He's still extremely quick, and in my experience he was able to catch up to a lot of players, and that is a really good thing about Chiellini as well, because he's got decent sprint speed as well. And I think it would be fair to give him at least 8 out of 10 points when it comes to pace. So in the pace department, Nesta is taking the win by the smallest of the margins. Next up is tackling, and in tackling we are going to discuss both standing tackles and sliding tackles. If we talk about sliding tackles first, then I think both Chiellini and Nesta are the same when it comes to sliding tackles. They both have equally large legs, they're both 6'2", and they both also have the dives into tackle straight as well. So in my experience, they both had equally good sliding tackles, and even if we talk about their regular tackling, their normal tackles, their hard tackles, I still think they both put in equal amount of work in the tackling department. And in summary, both of these players have really good tackling, and both of them are going to get 9 points each in the tackling department. Next up is awareness, their defensive positioning on the pitch, which makes a lot of difference, and Chiellini has the absolute perfect defensive positioning in my experience. He was really good with his defensive positioning, always marking the players, always being in the right position to intercept the ball. If a center back has really good defensive positioning, then half of your worries about defending go away, because your defender is always going to be in the right position. Even if you take him out of position, he's still going to get back into that position, and that is a really good thing. And even though on paper Chiellini has more aggression than Nesta, but still I didn't feel like Chiellini was leaving his spot for no reason. He was always perfectly marking the players, and for that reason I think I'm going to give him 10 out of 10 when it comes to his defensive positioning, aka his awareness. If we talk about Nesta, then Nesta had some inconsistencies with his awareness and his defensive positioning, because he seems more aggressive than Chiellini. He often leaves his spot, he often goes forward to tackle the ball, and if he gets the tackle right, then it's a good thing, but if he gets that wrong, then it's a bad thing, because he leaves a lot of space behind. And his marking was also not as good as Chiellini, so in the awareness department I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. Next up, let's talk about interceptions, because interceptions are also very important, and interceptions are not something that you can see in the stats because they have been replaced by a combination of awareness and tackling. But for us, interceptions are still very important, so we are going to talk about the ability to intercept the ball. And I think since Chiellini doesn't go forward much, he tightly marks his man, and for that reason he doesn't even get into some opportunities where he has to intercept the ball. On the other hand, if we talk about Nesta, then Nesta likes to go ahead and make some interceptions even automatically. And I like that, because sometimes I would like my center back to get ahead and intercept the ball before it even reaches the attacker. Because if my center back has already intercepted the ball from the attacker, then I don't even have to defend in the first place. So I think that is also a really good thing, and for that reason I'm going to give 9 points out of 10 to Nesta for interceptions. And Chiellini's interceptions are still decent, but they are not as good as Nesta's, so I'm going to give him 8 out of 10 points. Next up, let's talk about their physical attributes. We're gonna talk about the strength department first, because we all know that Nesta has never been a really super strong center back, even though he always has really good defensive stats, but his physical stats are not as good as some other options that we get. And that is also going to be the case here. Nesta is not as strong as Chiellini. Chiellini is a truck. I don't remember a single time when I was physically outpowered when I was using Chiellini. Chiellini always came on top no matter which striker or which attacker he came up against, and for that reason I am going to give him 10 out of 10 points when it comes to strength. And Nesta, with his physical prowess, is decent, but still he is a bit inconsistent, and he does get physically overpowered sometimes by some attackers, and sometimes even against some weaker opponents, and that is something I think a lot of players don't really care about, but it does matter. So I am going to give Nesta 8 points out of 10 in the strength department. Next up is heading. Now heading is also one of the most important things about center backs. Whether it's clearing a corner or a set piece or attacking one, heading is a really important factor about most of the center backs, and I think Chiellini is going to take all the 10 points in the heading department because he is an absolute beast. He is always there to score from the corners, and most of the time he comes through as well. And even in your own half, he's going to win almost every aerial duel that you get, and I think that is a really good thing about Chiellini as well. His heading is amazing. And if we talk about Nesta, then I can't say Nesta has bad heading because he is also very good in the air, but he's just not as good as Chiellini. So I think it would be completely fair if I give Nesta 9 out of 10 points in the heading department. Last department that I think maybe it doesn't even matter for so many players, but for me it does, and that is going to be stamina. I think majority of the players only care about the defensive, physical and the pace stats about a center back. Because when it comes to stamina, they only think about attackers and midfielders, and they completely ignore the fact that stamina matters for center backs too. Because by the end of a game, if your center back is running out of stamina fast, then he's going to get really vulnerable against some quick attackers who have decent stamina, and he is going to get beaten so easily. And you have to understand that stamina not only affect the pace. People think that if a player is running out of stamina, it means he's just not going to be able to run fast. But stamina affects every single aspect. If your center back runs out of stamina, he's not going to be able to even defend as good. So stamina matters a lot, guys, and Chiellini has really decent stamina, and he's going to get 9 out of 10 points because he can last easily about 70 to 80 minutes. After 80 minutes, even somebody with 5-star stamina is going to lose his stamina, so that is normal. But Chiellini's stamina is decent. When it comes to Nesta, he loses his stamina very quickly, and there are mainly two reasons. First, his stamina stats are very low compared to Chiellini, and he just has lower stamina than Chiellini. Secondly, the fact that Nesta is a bit aggressive and he likes to go forward for interceptions, he likes to go forward, he likes to get out of position and then come back to it, that also makes him lose more stamina points compared to Chiellini, and for that reason I am going to give 7 out of 10 points to Nesta for his stamina performance. And in the end, it's now time to conclude this comparison and sum up all the points and in total Chiellini got 64 points and Nesta got 59 points. So Chiellini is going to be the winner of this comparison, but it doesn't mean that he's exactly what you need, because we know that Nesta beat him in pace, Nesta beat him in interceptions. So if these are the things that you care about more, if you got most of the other things covered by another center back, then I think it would still be a good choice if you pick Nesta over Chiellini. And that was the whole point of this comparison, so you guys can know the strengths and weaknesses about these players compared to each other. And that would be a wrap for this video as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and another comparison about center backs is coming, and I think you already guess which center backs those are going to be. And with that video, I will see you guys in the next one.